I've always been the dependable one, the daughter everyone could count on, never causing any issues. Tonight, I'm about to make what feels like the biggest mistake of my life, and I'm fully aware of it. My name is Roslyn, and I'm sitting in front of my laptop at 11:47 p.m., my cursor poised over the transfer button. $50,000. My brother Casey claims he needs it for his startup. At least, that's what everyone keeps insisting. Just consider the family's future, my mom had said at dinner earlier, reaching over to hold my hand. Her pearl bracelet sparkled, a present from Casey last Christmas. I received a scented candle. Casey was at the head of the table, tablet in hand, pitching his groundbreaking social media platform for pet owners. It's like Instagram mixed with LinkedIn, but for pets, he called it Pornet. I fiddled with my food, thinking, isn't that just regular Instagram? People already share their pets there. Roslyn, Dad's voice had that familiar hint of disappointment. Your brother has put in a lot of effort into this business plan. At least you could show some encouragement. Casey flashed his charming smile, the one that had helped him get out of trouble throughout high school. It's not just pictures. Sis, we're talking about pet playdates, networking by breed, and automated treat delivery systems. With what infrastructure? I questioned. Mom clicked her tongue. You're always so negative, sweetheart. This is why you're still stuck in that tiny apartment while Casey is out there taking risks and building something. I held back my frustration. They had no idea about Sullivan, our plans, or the real company we'd been quietly developing for the last 3 years. Look, Casey said, pulling up a chair next to me. I have other investors interested. Big names, but they want to see family support first. It's just practical business. Dad leaned closer. Your mother and I have already contributed what we can. This is your opportunity to be part of something larger than yourself, Roslyn, to finally make a contribution. Those words stung as if they were deliberately meant to. After 28 years of being the overlooked child, I suddenly had a chance to be significant. My phone buzzed. A message from Sullivan. Don't do it. You know he'll blow through it in weeks. I tucked my phone back in my pocket. How much? Do you need again? Casey's eyes sparkled. $50K, but you'll get it back threefold at least. My friend Heidi has done all the projections. The same Heidi who got sued by her last 3 business partners? I shot back. Why are you being such a jerk about this? Casey snapped. If you don't want to help, just say so. Mom gasped. Dad's fork clattered against his plate. I'm sorry, Casey quickly added. I'm just under a lot of stress here. This is my chance, sis. Please. I glanced. Around the table at Mom's pleading gaze, Dad's stern disappointment, and Casey's rehearsed vulnerability. A lifetime of memories washed over me. Casey's graduations when my accomplishments went unmentioned. Family photos where I was told to stand at the back. Christmas mornings where his pile of gifts dwarfed mine. Fine, I said quietly. I'll transfer it tonight. The ensuing celebration made me feel nauseous. Mom shed happy tears. Dad actually hugged me. Casey promised this would change everything. Now, in my dark apartment, I'm about to hit that button. My phone buzzes again. Sullivan. Last warning. This isn't even your money to gamble. It's seed funding for Skyrop. We've worked too hard. My fingers hover above the keyboard. He's right. This is wrong on so many levels. But then, I recall Dad's words. Finally contribute. I hit transfer. The confirmation screen lights up cheerfully, as if I haven't just betrayed 3 years of work with Sullivan. As if I haven't handed my brother a loaded gun aimed at my future. My phone buzzes one last time. Sullivan again. You did it, didn't you? I stare at the message for a long moment before deleting our entire conversation history. In the morning, I'll have to face him, explain why I gave away our initial seed money to my brother's doomed venture. But right now, I sit in the dark, watching my bank balance plummet by $50,000, wondering how someone so supposedly intelligent could make such an incredibly foolish choice. The worst part isn't the money, it's not even the betrayal of Sullivan's trust. It's knowing that somehow, when this all goes wrong, and it will, they'll find a way to make it my fault. I close my laptop and rest my forehead against its cool surface. Happy now, Mom and Dad? I whisper to my empty apartment. I finally contributed. 3 months. That's how long it took for $50,000 to disappear into my brother's revolutionary pet social network. I should have realized something was off when Casey stopped responding to my texts about financial updates. I'm back in my parents' living room, but this time there's no celebratory dinner, just silence and accusations. She pushed me into rushing the launch, Casey says, pacing behind the couch where our parents sit. I told her we needed more time for market research, but she kept demanding updates. I almost laugh. Almost. I sent you 3 texts in 3 months asking for basic accounting. See? Casey throws his hands up. Always with the numbers. You suffocated the creative process with your constant pressure. Mom wipes her eyes with a tissue. Roslyn, how could you do this to your brother? Do this to him? My voice comes out steadier than I feel. He burned through $50,000 in 90 days. No product, no users, nothing. Dad stands up, towering over me like I'm 10 years old again. Your brother had a vision, but you couldn't help micromanaging, could you? Always needing to prove you're the smart one. Where did the money go, Casey? I ask, turning to face him. Show me the expenses. Casey's face reddens. Heidi handled most of the same Heidi who posted Instagram? Stories from Bali last month during what was supposed to be our launch week? I retorted. Business development, Casey shouted. We were meeting investors at a 5-star resort. Enough! Dad's voice boomed through the room. This ends now. Your brother took a risk which is more than you've ever done. He had the courage to try something big, and you sabotaged him with your constant negativity. I slowly stood up. I gave him $50,000, my entire savings. The lie tasted bitter, but I couldn't tell them about Sullivan. Not now. And look how you gave it, Mom chimed in. With conditions, with judgment. Money doesn't come with strings. Attached in this family, Roslyn. Unless it's from me, apparently. Casey slumped onto the couch, head in his hands. I trusted you to believe in me. But you wanted me to fail, didn't you? To prove you were right all along. That's not get out. Dad pointed to the door. Until you can take responsibility for what you've done to this family, you're not welcome here. I looked at Mom, but she turned away, shoulders shaking with exaggerated sobs. Casey wouldn't meet my gaze. Responsibility? I said quietly. Fine, let's talk about responsibility. Let's talk about how Casey spent $15,000 on team-building exercises in Vegas, or how Heidi's business development trip cost more than most people's yearly rent. It's all public record. I pulled the bank statements. You had no right. Casey jumped up. That was confidential company information. It was my money. Dad grabbed my arm. I said, get out. You've done enough damage. I wrenched away from him. You know what? You're right. I have done enough. I'm done being the family. ATM. Done being the scapegoat. Done with all of it. Typical Roslyn, Mom sniffed, making everything about yourself. Your poor brother's dreams are ruined, and all you can think about is money. I walked to the door, then turned. Back one last time. Casey, tell them about the $20,000 you transferred to your personal account. Tell them about the lease on the new BMW. Tell them anything true for once in your life. He didn't. Of course, he didn't. Outside, the summer air felt thick and heavy. My cousin Charlotte ran up to me as I reached my car. "I heard everything," she said, hugging me tightly. "They're wrong. This isn't your fault." I hugged her back, then pulled away. "Thanks, Charlie, but I need to go." At home, I opened my laptop. One folder sat on the desktop, Project Skyrop. Inside were 3 years of research, prototypes, and plans. Sullivan's face appeared on my screen in a video call. "I heard," he said simply, "your brother's startup officially filed for bankruptcy this morning. Sullivan, save it. What's done is done. The question is, are you ready to stop playing their games and build something real?" I glanced at my phone, already flooded with angry messages from family members. Casey had probably told them his version of events by now. In their eyes, I was the villain of this story. Fine. If they want a villain, I'll give them one. "I'm ready," I told Sullivan. "Let's build something they can't ignore." He nodded once, then ended the call. I began typing, fingers flying across the keyboard. They think I'm financially irresponsible. Just wait until they see what I can do with real money and real purpose. This time, I'm not asking for permission. I'm not seeking approval. I'm building my revenge, one line of code at a time. 5 years ago, I met Sullivan Warner at a hackathon in San Francisco. I was debugging code at 3 a.m., surrounded by empty Red Bull cans and half-eaten pizza when he stopped at my workstation. "Neural interface for accessibility." He peered at my screen. "Ambitious." I didn't look up. "Someone has to be." He pulled up a chair. "Show me." That night changed everything. Now, watching Sullivan pace our small but state-of-the-art lab, I remember why I trusted him from the start. He doesn't just talk, he builds. "The prototype's ready," I told him, adjusting the sleek headset on our test subject, Maria. She's been paralyzed from the neck down for 12 years. "Maria, you remember the visualization exercise we practiced?" She nodded, eyes bright with anticipation. "Think about moving my hand, but focus on the cursor." Sullivan stood behind her wheelchair, watching the monitor. The room held its breath as Maria concentrated. Slowly, impossibly, the cursor began to move across the screen. Then, with growing confidence, she started typing, using nothing but her thoughts. "Holy," our lead engineer whispered. Maria began to cry. "I haven't written anything in 12 years. I squeezed her shoulder. "Want to try sending a text?" 20 minutes later, Maria had sent messages to her kids, ordered groceries online, and changed her Facebook status, all through Skyrop's neural interface. When we finished, she grabbed my hand. "You've given me my independence back," she said. "How soon can others have this?" "Soon," Sullivan answered before I could. "But first, we need backing. Rosalind, it's time to show Phoebe what we've built." Phoebe Marshall arrived exactly on time, her Tesla pulling up to our unmarked building at 2 p.m. She's a legend in venture capital, known for funding the next big thing before anyone else sees it coming. "This better be worth the drive," she said, following us into the lab. "I'm missing my daughter's soccer game for this." "Maria," I said, "would you show Miss Marshall what you can do?" For the next 30 minutes, Maria demonstrated Skyrop's capabilities: shopping, emails, social media, even basic game controls, all through thought alone. Phoebe's professional detachment cracked. "The interface response time is incredible. How did you solve the signal delay issue?" "That would be Rosalind's breakthrough," Sullivan said. "She developed a new type of neural pattern recognition algorithm." "The same Rosalind who's been working as your research assistant for 5 years? Phoebe raised an eyebrow at Sullivan. "I'm starting to see why you've been so secretive about this project." I met her gaze. "We needed time to get it right. No shortcuts." "Unlike your brother's venture," she said casually. "Poor net, was it? Quite the spectacular failure." My stomach tightened. "You know, about that. I make it my business to know everything about potential investments, including family drama." She turned to Sullivan. "Smart. Keeping your real work hidden? Family money can be complicated." "Are you interested in the technology or not?" I asked sharply. Phoebe smiled. $20 million for 12%. Sullivan shook his head. "That values us at less than $200 million after what you've seen. $30 million, 15% final offer." She pulled out her phone. "I can wire the First 10 million tonight. I looked at Maria, still happily browsing the internet with her thoughts. Make it 40 million same equity. But we need guarantees about keeping the technology accessible to people who need it most. Done. Phoebe extended her hand. Welcome to the big leagues, Rosalind. Try not to let your family know just yet. Something tells me they wouldn't understand. After she left, Sullivan poured us both a drink. You know what this means? We're 3 weeks from soft launch. After that, everyone knows, I finished, including my family. Are you ready for that? I thought. About Casey's BMW bought with my stolen money, about Mom's tears and Dad's accusations, about being called irresponsible while my brother partied in Vegas with investors' cash. They wanted me to contribute something meaningful, I said, raising my glass. Well, here it comes. Sullivan clinked his glass against mine. 2 meaningful contributions. Maria calls out from her workstation. Hey, can I tweet about this yet? Not yet, I told her, but I'm smiling. But soon. Very soon. My phone buzzed. A message from Charlotte. Family dinner tonight. They're all talking about how you betrayed Casey. Wish they knew the truth. I typed back. They will, just not today. Looking around our lab at the technology we've built in secret while my family thought I was failing, I felt something shift inside me. The quiet, reliable daughter they ignored was gone. In her place stood someone they won't see coming until it's too late. Sullivan caught my expression. Remember, revenge is best served with an IPO. I laughed, but we both knew he was only half joking. In 3 weeks, my family won't just hear about my success, they'll choke on it. The email from my mother arrived at 3 a.m. subject line, family reputation. I shouldn't read it, but I did. Your brother's bankruptcy has become public. Knowledge. The country club is buzzing with gossip. How could you let this happen to our family? Your father can barely show his face at work. If you had just been more supportive, given Casey the time he needed. I closed the laptop harder than necessary. My phone lit up. Charlotte sending screenshots from our family's group chat, the one I've been removed from. Casey, starting fresh. Sometimes you have to fall to rise stronger on shagging resilience. Ash entrepreneur life. Mom, so proud of my brave boy. Dad, that's my son, always getting back up. Attached is a photo of Casey at some rooftop bar, champagne in hand, tagged at the Ritz-Carlton. Below it, comments from family friends. Sorry about your sister's sabotage. Some people just don't understand business. Charlotte's message followed. This is insane. You gave him $50K and he's partying at the Ritz. I started typing a response but stopped when another notification popped up. A memory from Facebook 8 years ago, my college graduation. I'm in the background of a family photo, barely visible behind Casey, who's throwing up peace signs despite having dropped out 2 years earlier. Your brother's finding himself, Mom had said when he quit school. That takes courage. When I made the dean's list, don't get too proud, sweetheart. Nobody likes a show-off. My phone rang. It was Sullivan. Stop reading whatever you're reading, he said without preamble. The prototype testing went perfectly today. Focus on that. They're saying I destroyed the family reputation. Good. Let them. In 3 weeks, they can update their definition of family reputation to include having a billionaire tech founder they disowned. I laughed to spite myself. Billionaire might be stretching it. Phoebe called. 2 more major VCs want in. We're oversubscribed for the Series A. A notification slid in. Mom's posted old photos of Casey's high school graduation. Our family's true success story, reads the caption. Rosalind, Sullivan's voice sharpens. Are you listening? Sorry, just watching my mother's latest social media campaign. Remember when you won that national coding competition? In high school? Yeah, they forgot to come to the ceremony. Casey had a football game. And now you're about to launch technology that will change millions of lives. He paused. While your brother posts poolside selfies with borrowed money. My doorbell rang. It was Charlotte holding 2 bottles of wine and looking furious. I'll call you back, I told Sullivan. Charlotte burst in. Have you seen what they're posting? It's like they're living in an alternate reality. She pulled up Instagram. Casey's posted another photo, this time with an inspirational quote about rising from adversity. The comments are full of our relatives calling him brave, calling him resilient. Look at this one. Charlotte scrolled to a post from my mother. It's a throwback photo of Casey winning Most Likely to Succeed in high school. The caption reads, "Some people try to hold our children back out of jealousy, but true talent always shines through." "They've completely erased you," Charlotte said softly. I took a long drink of wine. Remember my 10th birthday, when Casey crashed my party with his football team and Mom turned it into his celebration instead, because he'd made second string. Charlotte poured more wine. God, they were always like this, weren't they? We just couldn't see it clearly back then. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. It was Heidi, Casey's ex-business. "Partner, your brother's telling everyone you forced him to rush the launch. Just FYI. Also, he still owes me $30K. I blocked the number. Charlotte grabbed my laptop. "We should say something. Post the bank statements. Show everyone what really happened." No, I took the laptop back. Let them post their photos. Let them rewrite history. In 3 weeks, none of it will matter. "What happens in 3 weeks?" she asked. Her curiosity piqued. I smiled. "Let's just say Casey isn't the only one who knows how to rise from adversity." Later, after Charlotte left, I opened my work laptop. The Skyrop interface glowed back at me, displaying our latest test results showing unprecedented success rates. Tomorrow, we would start trials at 3 major hospitals. My phone lit up one last time. Dad was posting again, this time an old photo of him teaching Casey to ride a bike. A father's greatest joy is watching his child succeed. No matter how many times they fall, you never lose faith. I closed all my social media apps and opened my project files instead. They wanted to talk about success, about rising from adversity, about faith and family legacy. Fine. In 3 weeks, I would give them something to post about. The hospital boardroom fell silent as Maria typed on the screen using nothing but her thoughts. 20 of the country's top neurologists watched, their coffee cups frozen halfway to their mouths. "Any questions?" I asked, standing beside her wheelchair. Dr. Roberts, head of neurology, cleared his throat. "The response time, it's impossible. There's virtually no delay between thought and action." "Not impossible," I corrected him. "Just unprecedented." "Who did you say you work for again?" Another doctor leaned forward. "I'm a product representative for Skyrop Technologies." The lie came easily now. Sullivan and I had agreed. Until the launch, I was nobody. Just another tech worker showcasing a prototype. Maria smiled. "Whatever they're paying you, it's not enough. This technology gave me my life back." A young journalist raised his hand. "I'm Santiago Fleming from Tech Insider. We didn't invite press, but I somehow talked my way in. How long has this been in development?" "I'm not authorized to discuss company details," I said smoothly, "but I can show you more features." For the next hour, Maria demonstrated how she could control smart home devices, write emails, and even play simple games. The doctors whispered among themselves. Santiago took furious notes. After the demonstration, he cornered me in the hallway. "You're not just a product rep. Excuse me, your answers are too technical. You understand the underlying architecture too well." He pulled out his phone. I couldn't find any record of Skyrop Technologies before 6 months ago. I maintained my practiced smile. "I'm afraid I can't help you with that." "Come on," he grinned. "Give me something. This tech could change everything." "They will soon." Back at the lab, Sullivan was waiting with Phoebe. They were both grinning. "The hospital trials exceeded every benchmark," Sullivan said. "All 3 locations are demanding immediate contracts." Phoebe handed me a tablet, and the valuation just hit $387 million. My phone buzzed. Charlotte was texting. "You need to see this." She sent a link to Casey's LinkedIn post. "Excited to announce my new venture capital consultancy. Failure taught me valuable lessons about due diligence and family trust. Blessed conquer new beginnings." "Your brother's got nerve," Sullivan remarked, reading over my shoulder, using his spectacular failure as a selling point. "He's always been good at failing upward," I muttered. Phoebe cleared her throat. "Speaking of family, are you ready for next week? Once we announce, everything changes." "I'm ready." I handed her back the tablet. "But I want to be the one who does the reveal interview." "Risky," Sullivan warned. "Your family thinks I'm a failure, who destroyed their precious reputation. Let them keep thinking that for 6 more days." Santiago called 3 times that evening. I let it go to voicemail. He was getting closer. I could tell from his messages. There's no record of you working in tech before this. Your background is fascinating. Why hide your involvement? Charlotte visited later, bringing takeout and questions. Something's happening, isn't it? You're different lately. Like, you know something everyone else doesn't. I poured us both wine. How's the family group chat? Toxic. Casey's playing the Phoenix Rising from Ashes card. Mom's calling him her resilient entrepreneur. Dad's talking about writing a book about supporting children through business failures. And what are they saying about me? She winced. Nothing. It's like you never existed. Perfect. I smiled. Let them enjoy their narrative. Roz, you're scaring me a little. My phone rang again. Santiago. This time I answered. Fine. Coffee tomorrow. Off the record. Charlotte raised her eyebrows as I hung up. Who was that? Someone who's about to help me write a new story. I clinked my glass against hers. One where the invisible daughter isn't so invisible anymore. Later that night, I received an email from Maria. Used Skyrop. To video chat with my kids today. First time in 12 years, I could press the call button myself. Thank you isn't enough. I forwarded it to Sullivan with one line. This is why we built it. He replied immediately. No, you built it because you saw something everyone else missed, just like your family missed what was right in front of them. My laptop pinged. A news alert about Casey. He was speaking at a small business conference about overcoming setbacks. The photo showed him on stage, my parents beaming in the front row. Enjoy the spotlight, big brother, I whispered to my empty apartment. You've got 6 more days. The Skyrop interface glowed on my desk, ready for tomorrow's final trial. Soon, everyone would know what I've built while they were busy erasing me. Soon they'd understand what real success looks like. But first, I had coffee with a journalist who was about to help me change the narrative forever. Santiago ordered a black coffee and got straight to the point. You're the founder of Skyrop, aren't you? What makes you say that? I stirred my latte, keeping my expression neutral. He pulled out his laptop. Because I did some digging. 3 years of stealth development, revolutionary neural interface technology, and at the center of it all, a mysterious team that nobody can identify. He looked up. Except I found your thesis from Grady. School, the underlying theory for Skyrop's core technology. It's all there. I said nothing. But here's where it gets interesting, he continued. 6 months ago, your brother's startup imploded. Your family blamed you for its failure. They've been practically crucifying you on social media. But the whole time I was building something that actually works, I finished. Something that matters. His eyes lit up. Give me the exclusive, the full story. I glanced at my phone. A text from Sullivan. It's time. Okay, I told Santiago. But we do this my way. The article dropped exactly 1 week later. The headline read, The Invisible Founder, How Rosalind Harris Built a $400 million Tech Empire While Her Family Erased Her. Santiago didn't hold back. He detailed everything. The years of secret development, the successful trials, the revolutionary technology. But he also dug into the family drama, Casey's failed startup, my investment in it, their public smear campaign against me. My phone exploded within minutes. First, Charlotte. Holy crap, I knew it. Then Heidi, Casey's ex-partner. Should have partnered with you instead, Sullivan called. It's going viral. Tech Twitter is on fire. Your brother's trending, but not in a good way. I was about to reply when my father's name appeared on my screen. For the first time in 6 months, he was calling me. Don't answer, Sullivan warned. I answered. What have you done? Dad's voice shook with rage. Your brother's speaking engagement just got canceled. Your mother's crying. Our phones are exploding with reporters. Funny, I cut him off. Now you know how it feels to have your reputation destroyed by family. This is different. We're your parents. Who disowned me? Who blamed me for Casey's failure? Who erased me from family photos? We need to meet face to face now. I checked my email. Speaking requests, interview offers, investment proposals flooding in. Sorry, Dad. I'm a bit busy running my $400 million company. You know, the one I built while you were celebrating Casey's resilience. He switched tactics. Sweetheart, if you just told us, like you would have believed me. Like you believed me about Casey's spending. My mother's voice joined in. We're still your family. You can't just, actually I can. Check the markets. Skyrop Just announced our IPO date. I hung up as Santiago called. Your story just got picked up by every major tech outlet. Twitter's calling it the revenge story of the year. Charlotte sent another text. Mom's having a meltdown in the family group chat. Casey's gone silent. Dad's threatening to fix this. I forwarded the messages to Sullivan, who replied, "Worth it?" Before I could answer, a new email arrived from Casey. Subject line: "Please, sis. I know I messed up, but this is destroying us. Mom can't stop crying. Dad's law firm partners are asking questions. Casey's lost every client. Can't we talk about this? Like family?" I started typing. Family? You mean like when you blamed me for your failure? Like when you partied at the Ritz with my money? Like when you let them erase me? Delete. Instead, I sent him a single link to Maria's public testimonial about how Skyrop changed her life. Below it, I wrote, "This is what real contribution looks like." My phone rang again. Santiago. "You're trending #1, he said. People are calling you the stealth genius who built an empire while your family tried to destroy you. Your brother's motivational speaking website just went offline. Good. But here's the thing," he hesitated. "Some are saying you planned this, that you let your family hang themselves with their own social media posts while you built your revenge in secret. Did you?" I thought about Casey's champagne photos, Mom's cruel posts, Dad's speeches about family legacy. "The truth," I told him, "is they wrote this story themselves. I just provided the ending." As if on cue, my father's name flashed on my phone again. This time, I let it ring. Sullivan messaged, "Press conference tomorrow. Ready to show them what you've really built?" I looked at my laptop, where Maria's testimonial played on repeat, where thousands of comments poured in from people whose lives our technology could change. "Ready," I replied. "Time to rewrite. The family legacy." The family dinner table looked exactly the same, but everything else had changed. Mom's perfect makeup couldn't hide her puffy eyes. Dad's hands shook slightly as he gripped his fork. Casey stared at his plate, uncharacteristically silent. "Well," Dad finally said, "you wanted this meeting, huh? Talk." I took a slow sip of water. "Actually, you demanded this meeting. I'm just here out of curiosity." "Curiosity?" Mom's voice rose. "Our family is being torn apart, and you're treating it like some experiment. Funny how family matters to you now." I set down my glass. "Where was this concern when you were erasing me from photos? When you were calling me financially?" "Irresponsible?" Casey looked up. I tried to apologize by email. I pulled out my phone. "Want to see the exact message right after your speaking engagement got canceled?" "That's not fair," Mom interjected. "Your brother's trying to make things right. Like he tried to make things right with the $50,000 he stole." "Borrowed," Casey corrected weakly. "For Vegas trips, for a BMW, for Heidi's luxury vacation?" Dad slammed his hand on the table. "Enough. We're here to fix this. To be a family again." "Fix what exactly?" I leaned forward. "Your reputation, your social standing, Casey's consulting business?" Charlotte, who'd been quietly recording everything on her phone, spoke up. "Maybe start with an actual apology for, the months of public shaming." "We were hurt," Mom said. "We thought you'd betrayed your brother's trust. So you destroyed mine?" I stand up. "You know what the difference is between Casey's startup and mine? His was built on hype and other people's money. Mine was built on years of work you never bothered to notice. If you just told us," Dad started, "would you have believed me? Or would you have told Casey immediately? Let him try to take credit somehow?" Casey flinched. "That's not... Remember my coding competition in high school? The one you skipped for his football game? I won first place nationally. It could have paid for college, but you didn't even ask." Mom started crying. "We're trying to understand. No, you're trying to control the narrative again." "But this time it's not working, is it?" Dad switched tactics. "What do you want? Money? Recognition? We can have a proper family celebration for your success." I laughed. "Now you want to celebrate? After Santiago's article forced? You to acknowledge me?" "The article was a hit piece," Casey burst out. "You humiliated us." The article was the truth. Every word, including the bank statements showing where my money went. Charlotte's phone caught everything. Mom's mascara running. Dad's reddening face. Casey's desperate attempts to backpedal. "What do you want from us?" Mom whispered. "Nothing." I picked up my bag. That's the beauty of it. I don't need your approval anymore. I don't need your recognition. I built something that's helping people while you were busy protecting Casey's ego. Please, Dad stood. We can fix this as a family. We'll make a public statement. Show our support. Too late. The IPO announcement goes live tomorrow. Skyrop will be valued at over $1 billion, and not one of you can claim any part of that success. Casey made one last attempt. Sis, please. My reputation is exactly what you earned. I headed for the door. Just like mine. Charlotte followed me out, still recording. That was intense. Send me the video. Why? Planning more revenge? I smiled. No, that was the last piece I needed. For what? For showing the world exactly who they are. One last time. My phone buzzed. Sullivan. You're trending again? Someone leaked footage of your brother partying in Vegas with your investment money. I looked at Charlotte, who grinned. Oops! The next morning, every tech blog carried the story. The video of last night's dinner went viral. My parents' attempts at manipulation. Casey's fake remorse. All of it exposed. Santiago called. Your family's trying to do damage control. Your brother just posted a lengthy apology on LinkedIn. Too little, too late. Way too late. Your story is being called the tech revenge saga of the decade. I hung up as another call came in. Dad again. This time his voice was different. Broken. The partners are asking me to take early retirement, he said. Your mother's garden club uninvited her. Casey's lost every client. Karma's interesting, isn't it? We're your family. He tried one last time. No, I replied. You're the people who taught me exactly what not to be. I ended the call and opened my laptop to finish my IPO announcement speech. Tomorrow, I'd tell the world about Skyrop's mission to help people like Maria, about technology that actually matters. And my family could watch from the audience just like I did all those years. Silent, invisible, finally understanding what it feels like. The view from my office showed the city skyline dominated by Skyrop's new headquarters. Below, a crowd gathered for the building's opening ceremony. Somewhere in that crowd, my family watched, uninvited but unable to stay away. Ready? Sullivan asked from the doorway. I adjusted my blazer. Almost. Your brother's trying to get past security again. Says he has a business proposal. Of course he does. I checked my phone. Another missed call from Mom. A text from Dad about family healing. Charlotte burst in. You need to see this. Casey was posting live from outside. His Instagram story showed him in front of our building. So proud of my sister's success. Family is everything. And I'm proud to be the brother of this tech family. Unbelievable, Charlotte muttered. No, I corrected her. Predictable. Maria wheeled into my office, using Skyrop's latest interface to navigate her chair. The auditorium was full. Every major tech publication was there. I took one last look at my phone. Casey was still posting, trying to rewrite history again. Mom had joined in, sharing old photos she must have dug up, captioning them with, "Always knew she was special." Dad's professional network was suddenly full of posts about supporting innovative daughters. They never learn, do they? Sullivan observed. They can't, I replied, because they still think this is about them. The auditorium fell silent as I took the stage. In the front row, Maria sat with other beta testers, people whose lives Skyrop had already changed. Behind them, investors and journalists leaned forward, hungry for the next chapter. Everyone expects me to talk about revenge today, I began, about how I built this company while my family tried to erase me. That story's already been told. Movement at the back caught my eye. Casey trying to slip in. Security stopped him. Instead, I continued. I want to talk about Maria, about James, Sarah, and Michael, about the millions of people who've lost their independence through injury or illness. Because while my family was busy posting about resilience, these people were showing me what real strength looks like. I gestured to Maria, who raised her hand, controlled by Skyrop's interface. The audience gasped. This technology wasn't built on revenge. It was built on something my family never understood, the difference between taking credit and creating value. Santiago in the press section typed furiously, capturing every word. My phone buzzed with notifications as my words went viral in real time. So yes, I let them think I failed. I let them write their posts and give their speeches because, while they were busy managing their image, we were here building something real. Maria demonstrated the interface, drawing applause from the audience. Other beta testers joined in, showcasing how Skyrop had transformed their lives. Success isn't about proving people wrong, I continued. It's about proving yourself right, and sometimes the people who try to erase you just end up erasing themselves. After the presentation, Charlotte showed me social media. Casey had gone quiet. Mom had deleted her recent posts. Dad's LinkedIn had been deactivated. "They finally got the message," she said. "No," Sullivan interjected. "They finally lost control of it." Maria approached me, smiling. "Ready for the hospital announcements?" I nodded. "We're launching in 50 major medical centers next month. Thousands of patients waiting." "Miss Harris," a young woman stopped me. "I'm a computer science student. Your story inspired me to keep going when my own family didn't believe in me." I thought of my younger self, staying up late coding while my family celebrated Casey's latest non-achievement. "Build something that matters," I told her. "The rest is just noise." Sullivan handed me a tablet. "Stock price soaring, pre-orders flooding in. Want to check the family group chat?" "No need," I said, looking out at the city, at the Skyrop logo glowing against the darkening sky. "Their story isn't mine anymore." Charlotte hugged me. "Was it worth it? All of it?" I watched Maria demonstrating Skyrop to a group of doctors, her face glowing with independence and possibility. "Look around," I said. "This isn't about revenge anymore. It's about legacy. The real kind." My phone buzzed one last time. Casey again. "Please, sis, one meeting for family's sake." I deleted the message without responding. Outside my window, the city lights twinkled, each one representing someone whose life we might change. Someone whose story mattered more than family drama and social media posts. Sullivan cleared his throat. "The next presentation starts in 10 minutes. Ready to focus on what's real?" I pocketed my phone, leaving the past where it belonged. The audience waited below, but they weren't here for family drama or revenge. They were here for innovation, for change, for actual value created. That's a story worth telling, I thought. That's a legacy worth building. As I stepped onto the stage, I felt a surge of confidence. This was my moment, not just to showcase our technology, but to affirm my worth. I was no longer the invisible daughter. I was a pioneer. "Welcome, everyone," I began, "to the future of technology. Today, we're not just launching a product. We're launching a movement to empower those who've lost their independence and to redefine what's possible." The applause thundered through the auditorium, and I smiled. I was ready to change the world, and nothing could hold me back now.